everybody, love style Brian Sapp here with another NRW checkpoint. Brian, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Nintendo, man, they just
Yeah.
I mean, this week with the Direct, next week with the Switch 2, and
Yeah.
we're gonna get to some of the announcements today, but we had a
hmm
Nintendo Direct today. Brian, what are some of your takeaways from it?
Well, the first thing that I took away is that Nintendo is extremely dedicated towards making sure the Switch is the greatest console to ever release. Because I'm thinking about the virtual game card thing that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah,
Um, that like that kind of quality of life improvement on the
that's
Nintendo Switch.
brilliant.
Yeah. And the fact that it's what 10, 12 years since the Nintendo Switch was created and then released, for them to still be doing stuff like that for the actual Switch, I feel like that's
Yeah.
genius.
And I know they're carry over to the Switch 2 as well. It probably come off the
Definitely.
shelf for the Switch 2. So
Definitely.
I wish that. Well, I don't know how PlayStation works,
Okay.
but I know that with Xbox,
hmm
um, I can share my games with another Xbox in the house
Okay.
because there's a Xbox One Slim in the master bedroom,
Okay.
and I know that if I'm logged in, they can play my games. They used to be able to even access Game Pass if I was logged in. It was like some function. So I know you can do that on Xbox and actually
hmm
like just sharing the game, like you checking out a library. Oh, here, hey, here's my disc.
Yeah.
You can play it while I'm,
Right.
and then I get back like that. No, nothing like that. And I don't know
Right.
how if PlayStation has some sort of sharing function either. But the
Um,
fact that it seems so effortless and easy
yeah.
is
Yeah.
just amazed me.
Yeah, I agree. And PlayStation, they do have like a share play type of situation where if
Okay.
like I'm playing the game, I can share it with you and you can like be my player too or whatever.
Okay. Oh, yeah. But
Um,
not they can actually play the game on their own system.
yeah, correct,
Okay.
correct. Well, no, it's the same thing. I was thinking about Split Fiction, which we've talked
Yeah.
about before.
Yeah. But that's yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually playing that game with a
Okay.
friend. Like it's really dope.
Cool.
But we'll talk about that another time. But Nintendo with this direct, I feel like that virtual game card function that's very, very dope. I think also they may have rolled that out right now to kind of make it easy for transitioning your Switch 1 games over to your Switch 2
Hmm.
because that's something that I'm gonna be doing. If I have compatible Switch 1 games I can go play over my Switch 2, I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna move a bunch of my like single player RPGs and everything to the Switch 2 and then keep all the fun party games, family games on the Switch 1, just lug them both around if I have to. But I thought that was dope. And then I think the Nintendo Today app that they
Yeah.
were
The
about
app.
to
Yeah.
release. Yeah, I think that's dope as well. We already talked about they announced the date for the Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. I'm excited for that.
Yep.
That's literally less than a week at this point, or
Yeah.
exactly a week.
Yeah. A week
Um,
today.
right. But then the games, Dragon Quest 1 and 2, the
You know
HD
what's funny?
art. What's that?
When they started it and they said Ehrlich, I'm like, oh, this is. I said Dragon Warrior because that's what
Okay.
it was when it really came out. I was like, oh, it's Dragon Warrior, and they was like, oh yeah, Dragon. I'm like, okay, that was pretty cool. I like that. I was digging that.
Yeah. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. The title is crazy.
Yeah.
But I've never played the Dragon Quest game, so I was like interested in that. Metroid Prime 4, same thing. I played a little bit of Metroid Prime like on cousins like GameCube or whatever. I never had one from a copy for myself. So I'm interested in the Metroid Prime 4. Pokemon ZA for a couple reasons, but mostly because I want to try to jump back into Pokemon like on a mainline game. But I don't know, I'm iffy on that one. Um, the Tomodachi game, because they had Tamagotchi
Yeah.
and then the Tomodachi, which to me looked like a Nintendo Me version of like Sims Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was the last game, right?
Right.
Yeah, I at first I thought it was like an Animal Crossing game, and so
Yeah,
then
me
that's the
too.
title. Yeah.
So I'm all kind of excited for that, mostly because when Animal Crossing New Horizon came out, like it had me in the chokehold. I was playing
Hmm.
that game every day and
Well,
trading stuff
we
with
ain't had
friends.
nothing else to do.
Right. Because COVID. But then the most important game, or the game that I was very much the most interested in, that Marvel Cosmic
Oh
Invasion
yeah,
game.
day one, day
Yes,
one.
definitely day
Look,
one.
with what Dotemu, and I forget the developer, with
Right.
the bangers they've been doing in the
Yeah.
past couple years. Oh yes, day one.
Yes, I'm definitely buying that game. If anything, that is the one that when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely getting that game. The rest of them, they'll come as they come, but that one's in particular, I'm definitely getting
Yeah.
it when it releases, especially because I remember talking to you about the Shredder's Revenge game that same studio did and how
Yes.
much you enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, so I already got good
And Streets of
feedback from
Rage
the
4
studio.
too. Like,
Right, right.
Dotemu, they as a publisher and then who they've been working with, they've been putting out some really good, classic sort of beat 'em up games
hmm
that feel
And
very
I'm
modern
excited.
and fresh.
Yeah, I'm excited. But that was pretty much the stuff that caught my eye. What about you? What did you feel about it, the direct?
Pretty much, I'm in the same boat as you. The Marvel game, obviously,
Mhm.
Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest. Um, Again, I'm not a Pokemon fan. Metroid Prime 4, just because I'm glad that series is still continuing. But
Right.
they had a lot of games. So this is what I'll say though, and I hate the harp on Sony in this.
What? Why? Like they deserve it.
They do, but this is what I'll say with it.
hmm
We got on their last, was it a showcase? Was that what
Right.
it was?
That's
Okay,
the
because it
gameplay.
was mostly third party, right?
Right.
I don't know what it is. I don't
hmm
know how Xbox found their flavor as far as how they present. Um, Nintendo, they know their audience and
hmm
how to select games to show. Even me, I'm just like, there are games that like I fast forwarded through because I watched it after the fact.
hmm
But just kind of like from skipping from the game to game on the timeline,
hmm
just to see what it was. And everything to me screamed, oh yeah, this is a Switch game. Oh yeah, I can see playing this on the Switch. Oh yeah,
Right.
this makes me feel like I want to play it on the Switch. Same with Xbox. Xbox, the games they choose for like their developer direct, all things that say to me, yeah, I want to play it on Xbox. Oh, I did end up getting into a Valve like a weekend ago. I
Okay.
only played like an hour or so, but I liked it.
Okay.
I liked the fact you switch between first person and third person. I wanted to play in third person. I liked that choice.
Right. Okay.
And it was very easy to get into as far as I was concerned. So just going back to that from that developer direct, uh, I don't know what it is and why PlayStation just they are doing a sucky job communicating to their audience. I don't know if it's the game curation. I don't really feel like there is an error about their last showcase where I watched this Nintendo Direct
Mhm.
and it was light, it was fun, it made me excited about every game that was coming up next, even if I
Mhm.
didn't care about playing them. Like that takes a lot. And again,
Yeah.
even going to the Xbox thing, like the last developer direct, like we kind of knew what we were getting, but then even we got more. And even though Ninja Gaiden is multi-plat, it's still like, oh, that's Xbox. Like it's
Yeah.
synonymous with
It felt
Xbox.
like a Xbox game, right?
I can't say that when I watched that PlayStation showcase, the last one, where I felt like a majority of those games, like, oh, even the ones that were like, only PlayStation, like, yeah, it's a PlayStation game. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know I don't know how in my opinion, they've kind of lost their identity because they don't feel like they have to compete anymore. And again, I am projecting, but I'm projecting based on actions and how they've been carrying themselves this generation.
Which is fair, and I can agree with that as a PlayStation person myself, somebody that has had, I don't know, all of the systems. I think I don't know. After, well, you know what? I'm not going to say that. I was going to say after PlayStation Magazine stopped coming out, they kind of, there was a disconnect that happened. But I feel like, I don't know, because I don't even know when PlayStation Magazine ended.
Right.
But to your point, yeah, something I don't know. I would say maybe it's the production team behind the PlayStation State of Plays. I don't know. There's somebody that's supposed to make those decisions. Like they're supposed to be looking at what they want to present, and they're supposed to be packaging it in a way that's entertaining, that's enticing. And it don't seem like they do that. It feel like with the State of Plays, they normally just they're showing the trailer, and then if somebody from the studio wants to give a little deeper explanation on the game, then they have them come on. And but it's like you said, with Nintendo Switch, it's light, it's fun, it's quick, a good,
Yeah,
30, 35 minutes and they out the way. It's not too many moving pieces as far as like who's saying what, not too many presenters, not too many people speaking on the games. They just kind of get in and then they, like you said, they're selecting games that they are know will grab the attention
yeah,
of the audience.
yeah,
PlayStation, on the other hand, is like, this is what we got coming out. And so we want everybody to know. So this is what it is. And it's
yeah.
like, it don't
And
have to necessarily be like that.
yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm thinking about the last developer direct from Xbox, and
Mhm.
Xbox does a very good job of putting together video packages to make you
I
understand why
agree.
these developers are so passionate about the games.
Definitely.
There's something that falls flat with Sony when they start to, talk to the developers and not saying these people aren't passionate, but they don't do a good job conveying that passion and how they put things together. And I think with that, they may have to look at that. But with that, you brought up something that segues to something else on there.
Mhm.
We have a magazine that's coming back. You talk about
Yes,
PlayStation
sir.
Magazine is over.
Yeah.
Game Informer is coming back.
Game Informer. Yeah.
You know what's funny? When I saw this announcement,
Mhm.
I didn't realize how I was excited I was going to get because it's independent.
Mhm.
And first of all, I kind of like buying magazines
Yeah. No,
to
no.
some degree,
Yeah.
but
Especially if they got good like art on the cover, front cover.
I am clamoring for independent games journalism. And what I mean by that, I mean
Yes.
I think a lot of like we both talked about IGN's reviewing and
Yeah.
not understanding how things are so skewed sometimes. Like there really does come off. There's a bias that comes off at times with some
Yeah.
IGN reviews. Not all the time, but it is. Even in some of the conversations, I'm not saying that some of the people that host IGN don't represent real gamers and everybody has their own taste. But you and I both have said sometimes, and we've heard some of the talking heads talk, we're like, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's
Like,
a disconnect there.
yeah. I feel like there's a disconnect. And also, and but when you have, and I say corporate because I forget who owns IGN, but it's a larger company.
Yeah.
I am I think that's why so many people like what Destin Legary left IGN.
Mhm.
There are a whole bunch of other people that have left like some of the larger gaming outlets to do more independent stuff to come off very to be very unbiased.
Mhm.
I look forward to this because I think that when you just look at some of the internet space, we talk about games and we
Mhm.
will call people out and we like our platforms of choice, but we're about games. And I think so many of the conversations that happen and people are just ripping on games and there's a bias there. And again, I understand why to
Yeah.
some degree. We all bias to our own preferences and platforms, but I think the bias has gotten out of hand,
Mhm.
especially with some of the sensationalization of things surrounding games over the past couple of years. And I always look toward unbiased conversations about gaming and reviews, and to hear that Game Informed is coming back and is its structure allows it to be as open and honest and unbiased as possible. That
Mhm.
excites me as a gamer
Me
because I
too.
just want to see real opinions on this.
Right.
I don't want to see bias. I don't want to see um because it's on a particular platform, you get a certain score compared to another. Like those things,
Right. It don't make sense.
yeah, it don't make sense. It don't make sense for you to talk about all these good things in the game, then you give it a 4. Like this doesn't make sense. Like
Right.
what? How do you give this
Right.
game a 4? You had all these glowing things when, and it's like, for instance, I don't know if you ever read like reviews of hotels and whatnot, right?
Okay.
And you
Yeah.
see people give like a hotel, like a 2-star rating or a
Mhm.
3-star rating, and then you read the review and you're like,
That's all personal.
yeah, like this has nothing to do with the room or the service or
Right.
anything. I was like, that's how I feel with a lot of these reviews out there in these commentaries. I feel as though like it's all your personal opinion, your own experience. Is not a subjective,
Mhm.
unbiased view of the game. And even then, with the reviews, like what do you compare? How are you reviewing this? Like how
Mhm.
like what's a 10? What's a 9? How do you come up with a 4?
Right.
There's no criteria, no rubric that the general public knows of how you grade this game. That's what I say. It all seems very arbitrary when the scoring doesn't necessarily match the review, or you just trash a game just because. And
Right.
I am tired of that crap.
Me
So
too.
I look forward and champion independent journalism.
Right. I think Game Informer, they're gonna do a good job. I'm more so excited to see exactly what they do, like
Yeah, same.
how they take the brand and kind of push it forward, especially in this day and age where maybe necessarily somebody like you and I will probably read an article or pick up a magazine, but like, you know, kids today, they're more focused on
Right,
watching the review on YouTube or something. I just want to see
right.
how they're gonna evolve the brand and make it accessible to the full spectrum of gamers,
I
and
agree.
that's exciting because when Game Informer announced it was shutting down, I was like, damn, I didn't know how much I wanted that to stick around until they told
Right,
me it wasn't gonna be around anymore. So now that it's back, and then they got they structure whoever bought the company structured it in a way where they could just act independently and everything. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be
yeah,
dope.
yeah,
So
exactly.
glad Game Informer's back.
Same. Well, speaking of games, let's go with our highlights for the week. No rapid fire because we got some special stuff this week we want to get to, especially based off that Nintendo Direct.
Right.
First up is Atomfall dropping on PS4, 5, Xbox One, series systems, and PC, and on Game Pass. A nuclear disaster has left an area of Britain in tatters. Atomfall, a new survival action game, will see you explore, scavenge, craft, barter, and fight your way through beautifully recreated scenery in search of answers.
Okay.
All right, next up, we had one that I saw and I had to put on here. Care Bears Unlock the Magic on the PS4, 5, and Switch. Dive into a world of fun and adventure with the Care Bears and Care Bears Unlock the Magic. Play as one of the Care Bears and a variety of arcade games. So basically a bunch of mini games. All right, great. We'll see what that's
Right.
like.
Right.
Next up is Gal Guardians, Servants of the Dark on the PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series System, Switch, and PC. Take control of the Demon Sisters Kirika and Masha as they attempt to revive the demon lord Maxim and rebuild their castle in this 2D action Metroidvania adventure.
Okay.
And last but not least, it's probably one of the biggest releases of the week. The first Berserker Khazan, PS5, Xbox Series systems, and PC. The first Berserker Khazan is a hardcore action role playing game. The player will become Khazan, the great general of the Paleos Empire, whom overcame death and sets out to reveal the incidents that led to his downfall and seek vengeance on his enemies.
Okay.
All right, let's hop to the trailers. First up is Atomfall.
Product not yet rated.
Why not?
Oh, there's an old trailer. That's why. That's why it's not rated yet.
Woods are dark,
Gotcha.
and the woods lie deep, and the woods are home to summers don't sleep.
That Wicker Man.
So sit thee down and hear me tell of the woods that stand on Casterfell.
What?
Doctor Who? What?
All right. You
No,
got
it's no
random
TARDIS.
telephone.
Why is it TARDIS?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Must die.
Okay. What, the telephone booth is like a decoy or something?
I don't know. That was interesting.
That's very interesting. I don't know if it's for me, because
Yeah, me either. Is it just me or all these games start look alike?
I mean, So, this particular game, or this style of game, I should say,
Yeah.
this is very much yeah, it's like a niche little thing. Like people take these games, they get on Twitch, they stream jump scares. Oh my God, it's scaring me. I'm playing on live stuff. It's like that. So
Mhm.
I don't think they necessarily care to put too much detail into making the game look different from, I don't know. Plasmophobia is the one that's coming to mind. I have a friend that's been playing that as of late, and yeah, very much similar. But I guess it gets the job done. Like,
Hey,
I don't think people play these games for the look. They want the story.
yeah, they
They
immersive.
scared.
I get it. Just looking at trailers, I'm just like, it's kind of
Yeah,
looks
like give me something
familiar,
different.
right? All right, next up, definitely something different.
Okay.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Which looks dope. I was having the hardest time trying to remember, like, or figure out, like, is this a new game in the franchise? Then I realized, oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
But I don't know, even just looking at this trailer, it looks great. And again, Nintendo
this is one of the
Switch.
things, watching that direct. Even the games aren't like the highest graphical fidelity. They still look great. They still look
Right.
fun. The art style is chosen just really adds to the fun factor in a lot of
This
respects.
is the unknown planet
And I
viewer.
really, really appreciate Nintendo for not getting
Here,
into that.
Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal
graphical
tree in its
shit.
center.
Oh yeah, we got these graphics and they're running at this frame rate.
In order
Make a
to
good looking
survive
game,
and
and it's
escape
gonna
the
run fine on
planet
the
she was
console. That's all.
unexpectedly transported
It's
to,
about gaming. About
Samus
fun
must
gaming.
gain stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward.
Because believe it or not, I don't need every game to look like I'm playing a movie. I
Right.
want my games to look like games. So when I do stuff like this,
She's
it makes
not
sense.
alone though. Abhorrent, alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
Now, look at that. This is something that's baffling me in this part. Dude says alien creatures living in the jungle. Wait a minute. She's on an alien planet. She's the alien. They live there. Like, she's the one invading their home.
As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers. Psychic abilities. These powers allow
I don't know.
Samus to operate
Maybe
like an
it's me.
associate.
And
And
tell
open
me if
doors.
if you're picking this up too.
They also allow
Ever
her to
since
control the
it
trajectories
was
of the
revealed that
with
Samus
power.
is a woman, I don't know. I feel like they've made her or the character a little bit more like feminine, like a
powers bestowed upon
little bit more
Samus.
apparent.
I think that, yeah, with this version of Metroid, especially Metroid Prime series, the way they make her suit definitely makes it seem like it's a woman.
It wasn't always like that, right? At the beginning.
I feel like, in my opinion, with like the previous generations, the suit looked a lot more bulky.
Will
Right.
be her fate after being summoned to view
But with the Metroid Prime series, it definitely contours more to a feminine shape, in my opinion.
Time are
No, I can
beginning
see
to
that.
weave
It was just,
a new tale.
I'm not the weirdo that cares about like fake characters having ass and titties.
Right.
It was just I noticed that when I was watching this trailer. I was like, there was a point in time where we couldn't tell if this was a male or a female.
Right.
And now, like, I don't know, that I see feminine mannerisms. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. This is something I picked up on. And I hope they're not doing that to appease the nerds that like to touch themselves to these games.
Right. Even her movements, in my opinion, could be perceived as more feminine.
Yeah, that's
And
what
again,
I'm saying.
I think that really comes from, they probably have somebody doing mocap, and they probably have a female in mocap, which would make perfect sense.
Definitely.
So, I mean, I'm not complaining about that. What we're talking about is like, yeah, you can tell more that, it's a woman inside of the suit than it
Yeah.
being more ambiguous, like it was, say, when Kuya P and I were kids and we found out,
Right.
Justin Bailey and all that crap that, Samus was a girl. Like, that was like, Samus is a what? What?
Yeah,
Really?
like
What?
that's what I'm saying. Like there used to be a thing like wait a minute, this is very ambiguous. And then it came out that it's a woman. It's like, oh shit, I didn't know that. But so I know something to your BlerdCon pin there. I like that.
Yeah, I got my blur pin. Yep, yes, sir.
I need to get one of those when I go. All right.
Next up, Care Bears Unlock the Magic.
Unlock the magic. Care Bears are back. Do they leave? I feel like Care Bears is going.
You know, apparently when I looked this up, apparently there was a show on Boomerang, which this is based off of.
I feel like I've heard about it. The show at least.
These came out originally when we were us old heads, us Gen X.
Yeah, I remember watching Care Bear in my elementary school.
Yeah, this is definitely something for the little people.
Yeah, I think right around that time, though, like it was going off of air, like they weren't doing TV.
Care Bear,
but it's always been
the magic.
Yeah,
these Care Bears even look different than the ones I remember.
Yeah, it's whatever that show was on Boomerang. You know, that's the new art style, minimalistic. It's cheaper to do. Yeah, I will pass on that.
Yeah, those look like something I could get with.
No, I've never been a big like mini game compilation person.
Me either. Maybe on something like Mario Party or something where it's like
even then you are
expressed. Yeah, like this is a right.
But I play Mario Party when I am made to play Mario Party.
Yeah, when it's a group of people.
No, it's not group. It's one person. And you know who that
I'm pretty sure she appreciates the quality time.
Yes, she does.
Oh, good.
Next up, Gal Guardians, Servants of the Dark.
Okay.
Now, the Servants of the Dark, how are they guardians?
Land of demons, war, the demon realm.
Aren't they evil?
The demon Lord Maxim's castle lies alone, raised by his rival, Lysenorg.
Might be cooking something. Smoke gonna have to be that, right?
Better than that, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. You know, it kind of reminds me of Mega Man. Obviously, Metroidvania style is
Right.
She attacks from a distance with guns filled with demonic energy.
Just remember doing this voiceover was great.
Up close. Masha, younger maid sister, friend to demon and monster alike. Her whip and dash can cover close and medium ranges, while her sub-weapons help with exploration. Collect items, craft weapons, and enhance them as you restore your lord to power. Search across the realm for the lost souls of vassals and rebuild Maxim's castle. Kirika and Masha, sole survivors after the Lord's vassals were slaughtered. And the demon Lord Maxim, clinging to life in a shell of his former self.
That is a two-player mode. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's not something you see in a Metroidvania.
Of revenge and revival begins here. Castle conquering action resurrected. Gal Guardians, Servants of the Dark.
Okay.
Your evilness,
Gal, like girls.
your revenge.
Okay. Actually looked pretty dope.
Yeah, it did. Very surprising how well that looked.
Yeah.
Next up is the game we've been talking about all day.
Let's do it.
Marvel Cosmic Invasion. And literally, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, Brian, I sent it to him.
Yeah. I'm like, I watched it live. This is great.
I wanted to say treasure, but I knew it wasn't treasure. That would really send fanboys in a tizzy.
FilipinX trailer is good. I think that's what really sold me. Like the gameplay is gonna be the same. But like this trailer, ability for one person to have control over two characters, have up to 4 characters on the screen at one, or 4 players in the game at one time. What is this? What character is that? I know Nova.
That was Quasar, I think. That's the latest iteration of Quasar.
And she got the little star that kind of looked like
yeah. They all have their powers from quantum powers. And Quasar has the quantum dance from the original Captain Marvel.
I'm excited.
Yeah, like day one purchase.
Yeah, man, that is day one motherfucking purchase.
Exactly.
I am psyched, sir. I'm sorry. I'll let it go. My bad. That was my first time seeing that shit, and I'm lit.
You understand why when I saw it on Instagram, I sent it to Brian right away.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just fire.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is, which we didn't really talk about this earlier, but the characters we see on the trailer, that's just a small piece of the overall characters. They said it's supposed to be at least 15.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
Yeah.
When does it drop? When am I spending
later this year?
Right.
I need that in my life now.
Bro. Yeah, for real.
Definitely playing that. And I'm interested to see if they're gonna DLC and more characters.
Probably.
I hope so.
If their previous games are any record, yeah, there'll definitely be some DLC with more characters, because they did that with Turtles as well as Street Fighter 4. Not Street Fighter, Streets of Rage 4.
Okay. What about Shredder's Revenge? Did you get any extra content for that?
Yeah, you got Usagi Yojimbo, and there was like 3 or 4 other characters. Casey Jones was a DLC character. And you got a couple.
Yeah. I'm excited.
So all right, so that's Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and then we'll end off with probably again the biggest game of the week. Definitely heard a lot about this. Is the first Berserker Khazan.
This all I need right here. It looks good.
So you survived after all I see. That's
I don't need too much more than this. I don't need to have realistic eyeballs and all kind of shit. Like, give me the game and that's it.
Right.
Boss battles have to be.
I love the art style. Yeah, this is kind of Souls-like, but it looks beautiful, man.
Yeah, it does look good. I might be interested in this. Yeah. Well, damn. Let him get up, sir. Where's my...
That looked awesome.
Yes.
I feel like they showed that. Oh, where did they show snippets of that?
I mean, this demo.
I think it was a summer showcase.
Okay.
And I wasn't really that impressed with it, but seeing that, I'm like, wow, that looks great.
Yeah, it kind of remind me a little bit of what was it? Final Fantasy 16. But
yeah, I can see that.
There's something about this is like different. Where's the they said the demo's available. I'm gonna check that out tonight.
Check that out, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for our games this week. Brian, what's going on with you, man?
So I just put out my album review for Drake and Party Next Door, Some Sexy Songs for You. That is on the podcast for anybody streaming pleasure. And then I just recorded before we started like a more extended take on the Nintendo Direct. I'm gonna
Okay.
probably put that out yeah, after we get off. But that's it. Just trying to get this podcast cranking out. Traveling next week, so I don't know if I'm gonna be in the mood to sit and record
Understood.
and edit and stuff. So I was like, you know what? Might as well get as much content in while I have the nerves for it.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
What
sense.
about you? What you got?
Still publishing. I mean, man, I still got so much stuff to still in the pipe. But right now, publishing video from both Katsukan and Farpoint. So this week dropped my video with the team from Ocean Renaissance, from Katsukan, Words by Edward from Farpoint, Boom Slank from Katsukan, and then Ren and I jumped in to do a new episode of Ren's Playtime Corner, talking about the controversial comments from Anthony Mackie about masculinity and fatherhood.
Yeah, which I need to watch because I was like, I have my opinions on it. Yeah, I have
in
my
that regard,
opinions,
I feel like some people just feel like they want to say what they want to say in there. Because I saw some wild before we talked about it, that's why we talked about it. I saw some wild takes
yeah.
on what he said. And I'm like, did y'all listen to the same thing I heard? Because y'all out there, like y'all like the stuff y'all projecting on what he said, I'm like,
yeah.
Y'all need Jesus. Like straight up. Like it was some out there stuff. So I'm like, right now, like, yo, we gotta talk about this because this is stupid. So
okay.
But you get the full gist there. But you know where you are. You know, check Brian out, check me out. But you know, we are nerds of the world. Make sure you can follow us all around social media on Instagram, New Release Wednesday, on Twitter at the NRW, and of course, you're currently on YouTube. So make sure you like, you share, and subscribe.